Hey everybody, it is the Angry Honey Badger here, and it is time for patch notes. And of course, it is patch 5.4, and with me is Kai. How you doing, Kai?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Oh, you know, he knows. So yes,
It's that typical, burnt your dinner night.
yeah, typical burnt your dinner. Make some oatmeal for backup. Somebody has to do it. Might as well be me, because it is me. Anyways, patch 5.4 is here. Some changes are in it. Some changes to Mordekaiser we'll get to, because they're trying to fix things because of the DFG being removed, and a bunch of other stuff. But obviously, to start off any patch notes, we have to jump into the Azir fixes.
Our patchly Azir fixes.
Our patchly Azir fixes, which of course this time is his passive on Shamira's Legacy. Fixed a bug where killing Azir's Sun Disk would result in a registered turret death in spectate mode. Fantasy LCS stats were being immediately manually corrected, blah, 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 blah. They're sorry for this. Anyways, bug fix.
Yep. And really only in spectate mode.
Yeah, not a big one. I feel like they need to say something different, though, with the announcer lady when this does happen, though. I feel like it shouldn't say a turret's been destroyed. I feel like it should be like Azir's turret.
Shurima's Legacy has been destroyed.
Yeah, something different, not an enemy turret has been destroyed, because it's really random. So,
yes.
And then you look down and you're like, oh, I didn't get any gold. Because you don't get any gold if you're not by it. So, anyways, next we have some changes coming to Jana. Jana is going to see her passive on her Tailwind. Tailwind no longer gives Jana bonus movement speed, but now it gets the Tailwind now gives all allies in range a movement speed bonus only while they are moving toward her. The movement speed is going to go from 5% to 8%, and the range is going to be increased on this. So you will only get it when you move toward her.
So they increased the range and the movement speed, but made it so it's only when you're going towards Jana.
Yeah.
I don't think it really affected it because most Janas stay in the back anyway. So when you're disengaging, you're going to get that movement speed bonus.
Mostly.
Because you're going to be disengaging towards Jana. But
chasing's difficult.
Chasing's difficult, but Jana, I don't know. Her W should still help with that, I guess.
She has other tools.
Other tools.
And then there's a change too on her Zephyr. The base percent movement speed is going to be increased.
I like that.
So it kind of makes up for it in the long run.
Because you as Jana, when you're chasing, are going to be able to catch up to those champions.
Still get them slowed. Yeah. So
not a big change, I don't think.
No, it's fine. I think it's okay. I'll deal with it. Next we have the Jobin the 4th. In general, his base armor is being increased by 3 points, but before you get all excited about that, they fixed a bug with his Q, don't care. And then his Demacian Standard no longer grants passive armor. How much armor was it?
It was a lot.
It was a lot.
It was a lot for a flag-giving armor.
That's true. That is true.
But this is just kind of goes back to the bulwark thing. They don't like AoE armor AoE armor buffs.
Yeah.
So it's a good.
Yeah, it makes him weaker. He probably won't be. He probably won't be. He probably won't be. Good talk. He probably won't be banned as much now. This is gonna slow him down, I think, a little bit.
A little bit, but I don't think it'll. He's not gonna like fall into unplayable.
No, probably not. But this is gonna make people think twice. 'Cause that's a lot of armor, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, people who are rushing tons of damage early, you don't have any of that armor now, so you have to consider some defense. So, next we have some changes happening to Kalista. On her passive, Kalista's basic attack wind up, the time between starting and attacking and firing, now speeds up at 66% of her attack speed, not 100%.
All the nerfs we can get to Kalista, I'm accepting.
Yeah, I think this one's necessary.
Yep.
She's
a little strong.
If you're a competent ADC, yes.
If you're a double lift or a sneaky, Kalista's broken as shit.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. Yeah.
So she's just generally broken. Like the way you build her and her rend damage is just a lot. And so this will slow her down at least a little bit.
That's part of it. The other thing too is like even if you like you're like, okay, so Callista's too slippery for us to get onto this fight. Let's kill their support. She just picks the support up, and you're like, well, shit.
Yeah.
Like, nobody. We get to kill no one without any really hard crowd control. We can't really keep her locked down. It's difficult. So next we see changes to Kassadin.
Yay!
His Rift Walk is being nerfed like crazy. The range on it is getting cut down from 700 to 450, and the base cost is going to come down a little bit to hopefully make up for the ridiculous nerf of it. So I think it's a lot to take off of it, personally. I understand, but that's a lot of range.
They could.
I don't think we'll see him played.
They could honestly bring it down to like 350, but like make it like
split seconds.
Well, like make it like have it be capped at like 200 mana and get the full damage, so he's more of a bruiser, and like because the 350 range you're gonna be able to go like get over walls, and that's about it.
Yeah.
Like you're not gonna be able to fully escape with 350 range.
Yeah.
And like that'll put him in the fight, and you'll see more like Voyboy-ish Kassadins being played instead of like these
full mage,
like full mage Kassadins.
Yeah.
So if they want him to be like that kind of like bruiser mid laner, like AP damage dealer, then I think that they should have nerfed his range a little bit more and made it so his ult didn't cost 1200 mana. But
yeah,
it's this is fine. He's not going to be played anymore.
Yeah, I
like
think
at least
I think
competitively, you could probably still do work with him in normals and ranked and stuff.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's where we'll see the fall off. I think people will just stop playing him for a little while now until they buff him back up, and then they have to nerf him again, because that's that way the champion's gonna be.
It's the circle of Kassadin.
It kind of is. That's kind of how that works. Next, we have the circle of Katarina. Next, Katarina is seeing what we would call a nerf, kind of.
Yeah, I think we talked about it earlier, and I think we both nerfed.
Nerfed, kind of. So, on her passive, whenever a champion dies within 3 seconds of Katarina dealing damage to them, her cooldowns will be reduced by 15 seconds. So, instead of scoring a kill or an assist will reduce your cooldowns, it's within 3 seconds of that person dying. So,
yes,
if you throw a bouncing blade in, and then the person dies 8 seconds later, like normally,
and you get an assist.
Yeah, you won't reset. You don't get that. You won't get the passive to proc. But to anybody who's a good Katarina and just can solo kill a whole team anyways,
Maul teams,
they all die within 3 seconds. Not a problem. You're going to get all the resets. So you just can't throw a bouncing blade in and then pray you get your reset. You might still get it if it's within 3 seconds, but if it's not within 3 seconds, you won't get the passive to proc. So slight nerf, but not a problem, I don't think.
I think this will really separate the good Katarina players from the bad Katarina players, because the good ones struggle, or like the good ones obviously do well in lane also, but then they roam, and if you can get to that fed point with Katarina, you're going to be able to do enough damage to kill people immediately and like continue to snowball. But like if you get behind, you're going to struggle because you struggle to do that killing blow damage kind of stuff, that 80% of the life damage.
There's certain situations I can see this still affecting good Katarina players, but not in the way it's going to affect bad Katarina players. So, note to self, if you're not good at Katarina,
don't play her.
Don't
anymore.
Play her. Well, also that, but you usually struggle in lane. Don't play her. Lissandra's next on the chopping block, although there's no chopping on this block. Her Glacial Path bug fix is really the only thing happening here. Are you okay?
Yeah, no, there's no chopping on this block.
There's chopping on this block. She probably could use a small nerf. I love her to death personally. She's strong. Player.
They could make her Q longer range and like half the damage, and make it like a truly spammable thing, but like it just does so much damage.
It does good damage. It does. I like it.
So especially like early levels when you like don't have anything, you're just like 2 Qs and you're dead. So
she actually doesn't have a super. Okay, it depends on who you're up against. Sometimes she can actually get harassed a little bit if you're good. But here's the thing: if you're good, like the easy way to
solve all your problems.
Don't stand behind your minions against Lissandra. Like that, like most other champions stand behind your minions. Lissandra, don't stand behind your minions. Like it cuts the range in half. Like there's no splash. You're safe. Yeah, don't stand behind minions against Lissandra. Pro tip, pro counter tip. Anyways, next, I'm really excited to see changes finally to perhaps my favorite champion in the game, which I don't play anymore because he's needed fixed for quite some time.
The Kaiser.
The Kaiser. I love Hui. In general, his base regeneration is being cut down drastically, but there's reasons for this, and we'll talk about it. So, from 8.3 to 3.3, so pretty small. His Mace of Spades. Okay, his Mace of Spades now grants plus 75 range of attack. So it's got some more range on it to cast, which is kind of nice. It's still melee, but 75 more puts it less on top of yourself. The cost of it is going to go down in health. It's not going to be 25 to 53. It's going to be 20 to 40. So a little bit less. Next is the Creeping Death. So what happens here is Mordekaiser now gains the effects of Creeping Death when he casts it. If he casts it on an ally.
Seriously?
Okay, interesting. That's kind of cool, actually. So you also get Creeping Death instead of just choosing to give it to someone.
So it's the double.
It's a double Creeping Death. And then Magnetic Buddies. So Mordekaiser and any ally with Creeping Death gains 60 bonus movement speed while running toward each other. So this is really good when you're coming into a fight late and you throw it to someone who's escaping. You can kind of swap places.
Or just in just in general, because like you could like throw your W on like a Vi and let her ult the back line, and Mordekaiser's big problem is he can just get kited into the ground.
Yeah.
So this will help a little bit with that.
My biggest problem with Mord back in the day is because he had any kind of speed ups, any kind of slows, any kind of crowd control. He literally was at the mercy of everyone else's crowd controls and or speed ups and slowdowns.
That's the only way you kill him.
Yeah, and he needed a little bit of help because he couldn't do anything specifically unless everybody was standing still. Enemies will not take double damage from Creeping Death if they're beside Mordekaiser and his Creeping Death buddy, just in case you thought you would. So, health on that cost is going to also be decreased, and the damage on this is being decreased as well, actually. So, both ability power-wise and base damage-wise. So, more adding utility and taking damage. I'm okay with that, I think, on Creeping Death. So
if they're going to take the damage off of it, I think you could actually, like, you should actually be able to take damage from both sources.
I kind of agree, to be honest, but they would think that's like, broken. Maybe we'll get.
Do you know what I'm saying though?
Yeah,
like,
no, I totally
get it. You're taking damage away.
They're saying
it's not like the added thing is like, I know that's not a lot of damage, but still.
Yeah, I agree. But as a Mord player, I'm okay with getting bonus movement speed now. I'm okay with that. So, and then next on the Children of the Grave, enslaved champions grant Mordekaiser 25% of their bonus health and 30% of their ability power, instead of just 20% of their attack damage and ability power. So no attack damage, just the ability power, and you get a little bit more of it, which honestly helps them out a little bit more. Obviously, Mace of Spades does scale from attack damage as well, in case you don't know. And then they've removed, this had some weird implication, enslaved 75% of Mordekaiser's ability power. What? Oh, what? Actually.
I have no idea.
I'm really confused actually now.
But honestly, it's a double-edged sword no matter how you look at it, because either A, you're going to use it to gain their health and their ability power, so you could cast it on like a mid laner and gain their ability power.
Yeah.
But that would take away from the actual, like, afterwards, when, like, if you get an AD carry or something, you actually get a bonus now where you get just a flat attack damage bonus.
No, you give them attack damage.
Yeah, sorry. You give them a flat bonus for attack damage. So like,
yes,
it like suggests to use it on a mid laner, like an AP champion, but then it like doesn't really make sense because you should be ulting like 80 carries most of the time.
Yeah, I think it has a different it works differently depending on who you ult.
Yeah,
that's all I'm gonna say. I understand how it works in my head, but I don't know how to say it like a good way.
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of.
Anyways, they've tweaked Mordekaiser.
Interesting.
Although I'm surprised they haven't touched his numbers because I thought they said they were going to do that.
Well, they nerfed the shit out of his base health regen.
Well, I meant like give him more damage.
Yeah, I know.
Not that he honestly needs it. The dude hurts like crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm interested. I'm gonna play him again. We'll see what happens. Anyways, next is Rengar. Boon Tooth Necklace. All trophy collection mechanics bonus to remove from trinkets. Also still a permanent stacking buff due to the bug issues and trinket upgrade paths.
A lot of people lost stacks when they were upgrading their trinkets, or like switching it from like your warding trinket to your like sweeping lens. So this is just, they're putting it as like a above your status bar thing instead of like an actual item or something like that. So I like this change. I don't see why they didn't do this initially when they changed the Bone Tooth Necklace way back when they reworked Rengar. So it's a good change.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's whatever, but it needed done. Next we have Syndra. Scatter the weak. Collision width of dark spheres has been increased. The reason we can say complicated math is because the spheres oriented yada yada yada. Scatter the weak is more consistent. Nailed it.
Yeah. Which, that's our bread and butter, and since TFG got taken away from us before its time, this is gonna help her.
Yeah. Next, changes definitely happening to Vigor. A lot of changes. We'll talk about them next. First off, Baleful Strike is now a skill shot that passes through the first target hit and stops on the second target hit. Its range has been increased from 650 to 850. Its cooldown is now a little bit shorter at earlier ranks and then less at later ranks. So it's longer.
Yeah. So, wait a second. If I queue a champion, it's just gonna go through that champion?
Well, no, it's a skill shot. I don't
understand, but it says it passes to the first target. Or does it do the damage to that target?
I'm going to assume it does the damage to the target.
Because I was just like...
Yeah, that'd be bullshit.
Yeah.
She's the only one in lane, you try to cure it, and it goes through, and you're like, no!
It better be like 12,000 damage if you hit it.
Yeah, no, that's not what it's going to do. Okay, next, Dark Matter. Mana cost on this being reduced at later ranks, and the cooldown is also being reduced at later ranks, which I think is a good change, actually. Next,
this is to help
the
change coming up.
Yeah. Event Horizon now has a 0.75 second delay before appearing. It also costs less mana now at later ranks, and the cooldown on it is also shorter. Its range is actually being slightly increased. So it has a delay on cast.
Yeah, but it's like mana's going down, and also the cooldown. So, you know, that's not that big of a deal, I don't think. It'll give some counterplay for like flashes and stuff, but
it will also,
if you get a flash for a 14-second cooldown, that's definitely worth it.
You just can't instantly lock them down. So what will happen is, if you're gonna get around them and you need to get it around them, they'll probably be in the middle of it, and therefore they probably won't stun themselves. They'll have to make the choice whether they're gonna run and stun themselves, which is dumb, or just hang out in it. That's
or flash.
Or flash.
Unless like the entire team's there. So
yeah, that's true. And then on his ultimate, ratio on it actually being decreased by 0.2, the mana cost is going to be 125 at all ranks instead of scaling upward to 225, which is crazy. And the cooldown on it is being reduced by 10 seconds at all ranks.
So Vigor could be pretty strong now. He's going to struggle from the same like non-mobility
he's gonna
stuff,
still struggle.
but like those are huge helping. Like, whenever your cooldowns go down as a mage, it's a good thing.
It is helpful.
So
I'm interested to see what that does. Next, we have changes to Xerath. On his Shocking Orb, the maximum stun duration is being decreased from 2.25 to 1.75. That's, he's good. That's a long stun, so.
It won't really.
He doesn't need a 1.75 second, or he doesn't need a 2.25 second stun.
Yeah.
Like a 1.5 would probably be still fine. So
he's still good for what he's good for, range, wave clear, and like spacing out team fights and stuff. So
pretty much.
He'll still be good.
Next on the chopping block.
Whatever, on the buffing clock.
On the buffing.
God, this champion, I played him on PBE.
Yeah.
So fun.
Oh yeah?
He's so fun to play now.
Well, good, because I thought he was kind of boring. He was...
Yeah, well, it was point and click.
Yeah. So Zilean's rework is on this patch. His base armor is being increased by 2. His attack range is being decreased by 50. Attack frame sped up slightly, which actually is good, needs fixed. Basic attack now has new particles, and Zilean has received new ability icons. Hooray! First off is his time bomb. Time bombs are now a lobbed skill shot with fixed travel time. The time bomb sticks to enemies and allies near it. If nothing comes nearby, the bomb detonates normally. So when Zilean gets 2 bombs on the same unit, the first bomb detonates immediately, stunning all enemies in the area for 1.5 seconds. Time bomb delay is not 4 seconds now, it is 3 seconds. The damage on it is less at all ranks, and the ability power ratio is 0.1 less as well. The range on it, though, has been increased by 200. The cooldown on it is longer at early ranks, scales downward to 8 seconds, and the cost on it is less at all ranks. So, what have we learned?
It's very fun. It's almost like a Ziggs mechanic, but if you get, like, think of it like you throw 2 Qs on one person when the first one's activated when you use Time Warp, or sorry, Rewind, and it stuns them, and obviously, like, when you add CC to a champion, it's always good.
Yes, I agree. He had the slow, whatever, but this makes him actually work as a support now, like, better, in my opinion.
Yes.
Just that, right there. I also do like how they're nerfing the damage on it, because it's stupid.
It was just a little bit too strong early game, yeah.
Well, the problem was if you wanted to act like a full mage early and then transition it into support, you could just win lane because you could harass them out in the first 20 seconds. So I like the fix on it because just even early and ability power-wise, you're not going to be able to completely wreck them. So it's a good thing. Next, his Rewind. Rewind no longer reduces the cooldown of Chrono Shift, but it will work on all other abilities.
But they kind of make up for that later.
Yeah. Time Warp duration, 2.5 seconds instead of it scaling up to 5.5. Slow amount is going to scale from 40 all the way up to 99%. So, like what happens when you walk into the wall box of Thresh. I believe that's a 98% slow. The cooldown on this is going to be 15 seconds instead of 20. It's going to cost mana scaling upward, but still cheaper than what it used to be. The range on it is going to be shorter. It's going to be the range of his standard attack range. Yeah, this should be a thing. Main thing here is this will be a deciding factor of how long or what you want to max out first on Zilean. If you want to max this out first in lane, as a support Zilean, you can take great effect of a 2.5 second slow that continuously goes up really fast. Scales up really well. Or do you put it in your poke, blah, 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 you know. So let me put it this way. You'll be maxing this out first as a support. Zilean. So if you're still going to go AP mid Zilean, you'd be probably maxing out.
Well, you can still get, like, what you could do is max E and then get that 99% slow, and then you're gonna, like, if you can't hit 2 bombs on the same person when they're 99% slowed, you need to stop playing this game. So you just slow them and then you double time bomb them and kill them.
The truth.
So
you need to stop playing this game.
Well,
you need to stop playing this game.
Yeah. You get what I'm saying.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, and then finally, Chrono Shift is ultimate. Duration of this is only 5 seconds now, which I kind of like. Can't just let it sit on for a long time. And then the cooldown on it is being reduced massively at later ranks and even early. So this is why you can't rewind it. And that was the problem they had too, because 40% CDR people with Chrono Shift, you get his ult up in like 10 seconds.
Immediately?
Yeah. Because you just Chrono Shift.
Not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one curse a game last season. Special came running in. And yeah, well, that's why I said curse. But Special came running in and he Chrono Shift somebody at the beginning of the fight and saved their lives, and then he Chrono Shift Void Boy in the middle of the fight. Like it was twice in one long fight. It was hilarious. Chrono Shifts up all the time. Next, Spell Shields. Very complicated. Who knew how complicated these were? Spell Shields that have on-hit characteristics associated with Gangplank's Parlay, Mystic Shot, Misfortune's Double Up, Fizz's Urchin, blah, 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 now have their damage properly blocked by Spell Shields. they weren't before.
So I saw a video on this 3 or 4 days ago, and basically, like, if you were Sivir and you use your spell shield and like Gangplank Q'd you, it would still do the full damage and it wouldn't pop it. So basically, all they're doing is making those spells that are on hit effects.
I thought it was blocking it, but not the after effect, like the parlay.
No, it still took you'd still take the damage.
That's broken news.
Yeah,
that's stupid. Thanks, Obama.
Yeah, it's all your fault.
Yeah, who knew? Updated splash arts for Katarina and Tristana.
The ugliest two splash arts of the game now.
Yeah, I don't know if they're the ugliest, but
I guess there is Urgot and Teemo.
Nailed it. Yeah, I don't care for them. They're not bad. They're just, I don't know. They don't look quite right. She looks too happy.
Tristana looks just, I don't know.
Didn't they just redo her splash art?
Yeah. Katarina's looks okay, but
I actually don't mind Triss.
I don't like the angle of Katarina's.
Yeah, I don't like the angle either.
And I don't like how she doesn't, like, her legs are all messed up, and like her left leg is like non-existent.
She doesn't actually have legs.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I guess that makes sense.
Yeah. Thanks. Next is jungle items. Cost to change between tier 2 jungle items is now 255 gold.
Thank God.
It's not free.
It's kind of irrelevant, but it's still a good. It's a much needed change because people were like switching them.
Mm-hmm.
And
constantly.
Yeah, constantly, and it was hard to keep up if you got behind with that, like, because they could basically clear their jungle, switch out their jungling item to like the counter jungling one, and just go in there and raid your shit.
Yep.
So
yeah, it needed it. Now it costs you if you want to do that.
Yeah.
I changed them out a little bit, trying a couple different options when going from like hunters to stalkers, but rangers to stalkers, but yeah, I stopped doing that. But I'm glad it did because this now has happened. Sweeping lens. The cooldown level 9 automatically upgrades to 60 seconds, but the tooltip says 75. We're not crazy people. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That doesn't. Yeah.
Yeah. Doran Shield fixed a bug where Doran Shield wasn't blocking 8 single target spell damage.
Do people even get this anymore?
I occasionally pick it up, but usually not. No. It's only good against a couple people, in my opinion, right now. It's still not good. I hate only being able to buy 1 health pot. That's my big one. So, next.
Do you have any like defensive stats? Like, there's no armor on it anymore?
No, it's just a little bit of health and a little bit of health regen, and then that blocking of a little bit of damage. But I'd rather have a health pot personally. Warrior is -5 damage on that, so from 45 to 40 attack damage on that. The portal device item now spawns are more intelligent about finding the nearest lane. Void gates will automatically rescan for a spawn direction. Shortly after a Turk is assigned, lane has been destroyed.
Still a terrible item, but
yeah, I agree.
They're trying to fix it.
Yep.
Unsuccessfully.
Next, we have changes to summoner spells. Smite. Who would have thought? Range, 500. Not 750. Dominate would not have been able to steal that Baron he stole.
Isn't it only on champions?
Probably.
Or is it total?
No, is it total? I think it's total.
The above change should be roughly
175
range lost against champions.
Okay.
With many monsters being unaffected.
Okay.
Due to them being very fat.
Ha.
So
fat monsters.
So probably not on Baron and Dragon, but like just on champions, like, because smiting people is really fun, but at the same time, it's kind of broken right now.
It's pretty far out.
Yeah.
I do agree. That's why I wasn't buying one of them, and then I saw the smite, just like the range you could use that, and I was like, what?
Might as well.
Yeah.
Sign me up.
Yeah, pretty much. So just pay attention to this and get used to it quick. It is going to affect your game at first because you're going to be pounding Smite and confused why it's not.
And this next thing is going to affect your game a whole bunch.
This is changing everything. Revive has been removed from the game.
I would venture to guess that it hasn't been used in years.
I saw someone with it.
No, you didn't.
Many, many years ago. You're right. I haven't seen it in a long time.
I used it in Earth once, and that was about it.
What? You're crazy. Relative team colors.
Yeah. Relative team colors. What?
Yeah. I'm blue. I'm damn.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Small fixes.
Nailed it.
Small fixes.
This is an option enabled by default. Red. The enemy's always red. Turns out we had this on our files for some time. We haven't looked it up. Sorry, I know. Melee and caster minions now have 4 different animations based on how they die. Cool. The new semi-locking camera is in the game. You can change it. I don't advise using locked camera personally.
I use locked camera when I'm fighting, and that's about it.
Yeah, like, yeah, but I center up.
Spacebar.
Yeah, I center up on myself, but yeah, I'm not gonna toggle Y constantly. Drag scroll lock. Drag scroll lock now has been added to the hotkeys menu for all game modes. It is an unbound by default. So fun stuff for people like that. Player tool tips. Cool. Bug fixes.
Nothing.
Yep.
DJ Sona.
Actually, this is a big one. Restored Thresh's max distance indicator on his W Dark Passage. Thank God. That was so annoying. Got that constantly.
That's nice.
All the time. Happened to me all the time. Most annoying thing.
Drop it right next to you, trying to throw it over a wall or something.
No. You'd throw it, and then you'd walk to see where the edge of it was before it came. And I didn't have a circle, so I was guessing. And luckily, I know his range. But once I accidentally did walk too far, yeah, happens. DJ Sona.
Looks very nice, and there's pretty lights in it, so I'll probably get it.
I want to get it, but it's not as cheap as I want it to be.
$20, so I probably won't get it.
Yeah. Only 25% off right away. If they would have done, like...
The 50% off that they did with Uter? Yeah. Did they do 50% with Spirit Guard?
Yeah, they did.
This
needs to be just under 2,000 for me to potentially do it, but now I don't think I will.
The 18, whatever it is.
If they wanted to do 19... Actually, if they want to do 2002 right now, they could do that.
For 4 easy payments of $19.99.
Yeah. I think it's a cool skin. I liked using it in the... PvE. But... yeah, it's just too freaking expensive.
I do like pretty lights, though.
Me too. Talking to the right guy.
Talking to the right guy.
Talking to the right son of a bitch. Yeah, I like the pretty lights. But yeah.
I like the pretty lights.
Pretty short patch actually in comparison to previous patches. Thanks, phone. Yeah, some actually big changes in here.
Kassadin, Zilean, Kaiser. That's about it. Mordekaiser.
Quakei. Azir.
Jana and Jobin just because of their viability, but...
yeah. I think most of these changes I'm okay with. I understand the Kassadin one. I don't even play Kassadin, but I just think no one's going to play him now. Other than that, I'm a little surprised List didn't get touched, or Nidalee.
Or Callista a little bit more.
See, because I do.
They need to nerf her Ren damage. Her Ren damage is too high, or like make it cap.
Maybe
like you can have 5 Rens in you at once.
No, 17,000, Kyle. 17,000.
Like Twitch, not like.
Yeah, no, that's not terrible.
Bajillion and have it do half your life.
Yeah, the thing is, I agree with that. I thought the big thing that would change her though and affect everything is the change they did, but I think they could actually make it even more drastic personally. So.
Or take the slow away from Rend. That would be nice as well. So when you live with 5 health because she just rended you for your entire health bar,
I'm
not a genius. I should work it right.
I'm not suggesting that this be a thing, but what would happen if you built a frozen mallet on her?
No one would ever get away, and it'd be awful.
That'd be so stupid. What would that slow on top of that slow be? That'd be stupid.
Well, hopefully you never be able to use the. Hopefully they take the rend slow away.
Season 1 Caitlyn, you just buy a frozen heart and be like, I'm Ash, but with more range.
Yeah, because frozen mallet was a little bit easier or better.
Yeah, back then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's the patch notes.
Can I make a request for the next patch? Can we get Sanguine Blade out of the game and put Bloodthirster in ARAMs?
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Andrew, you know people, make it happen. I'm not even kidding. Do you see my face right now?
Yeah, I can see your face right now. I don't know what I'm going to do. What am I going to do?
Get somebody on the phone. 1-800.
Hey, Rito.
Riot.
I'm just kidding. Fix this. Kyle's angry.
Yeah.
I have a suggestion, though. Don't play ARAM.
Hey, ARAMs are a good change of pace every once in a while in my Smurf that I only have 80 carries on.
Yeah, I agree every once in a while, but I get so bored of it sometimes.
Oh, God, yeah.
It's so fun, and I'm like, it's okay occasionally, but it's just, I don't call it easy mode, it's just, yeah, it's easy mode. It's boring.
It just...
You either have a champion that works or doesn't work. Like, there's...
Oh, I don't know. Me and Hoyt had Volibear and Uter yesterday, 2 days ago.
That's broken. I didn't say those champions don't work.
Those champions suck. And that
Volibear's fine. Voli's fine. Udir's just a face tank. I agree with that more so. But yeah, that's the patch. Let us know what you guys think. If you like or hate something in the patch, leave us a comment down below in the comment section. Crazy. But yeah, other than that, enjoy the patch and have fun. And we'll see.
And stuff.
Yeah, and stuff. Nailed it. And we'll see all of you guys later.
Bye.